I know it's generally a mix and you're such a balanced coach and a balanced teacher, but do you sort of reflect with the players on the 2 final successes? Hey, this is what we can do at the crunch time of the year, or are you sort of looking at hey, this is the benchmark we need to get to, Geelong showed us, and this is...
Yeah, it was a bit of both. I mean, we were probably right for a killing in that preliminary final when you look back on it. We'd played 2 finals that went to the wire pretty much against 2 terrific teams. Took a lot of emotional and physical energy. And Geelong, credit to them, they finished on top. They won their first final. They were sitting back there waiting for us, and they did probably what they should have done to us in a sense. So, yeah, I think we've learnt from both though. Geelong are a fantastic running side now. So for me to say in our meeting post that game, one of the things we're going to have to get better at is our running game. Well, it's pretty clear that was the case. We got a great lesson in the prelim final. So all these experiences are good, as you know. Who's
impressed you during the pre-season, or who's maybe made a jump aside from the usual suspects that we sort of hear about? Yeah,
there's always a lot of boys that step up. They learn and get better. Guys like Jimmy Tunstall and Darcy Wilmot. And I suspect Kai Lohman would have done if he hadn't have had a few little injury interruptions. They're all better for their experience last year. They're leading the way in a lot of things in the fitness side, which is great. And we've got a number of really professional guys that just do the right thing year in, year out. And guys like Lachie Neal and Hugh McCluggage and Harris Andrews, and Josh Dunkley is a real pro, so is Jack Gunston. They've all set good examples. It's pretty hard to single anyone out, but there's definitely been I think a lift in professionalism across the whole group, which I think is partly to do with just experiences and playing finals and knowing what you've got to do to get to the next level. There's no greater teacher than losing. And last year we got a lot of confidence out of winning a couple of finals. We know we can do it, and then we just came up against a juggernaut in that preliminary final, and we learned a lot of lessons from it. So hopefully we'll show this year that we've learnt.
Cam Rayner, seen him playing in defence. At first I thought, are they teaching him a lesson or teaching him another string to his bow? But what's the thinking there, and is it something we might see come the season?
All sorts of things. He might play there for starters, so he's learning that position. Secondly, if you play down back, you learn a lot of things about being a forward. You learn as a backman what really challenges you, so it's a good lesson in reverse for Cam, and for him to have other places to go to, us to be more versatile as a team, for all of those reasons. He's also one of those blokes that's he's a real competitor, and he's a real teamwork man, and I think, definitely the backline blokes tend to be probably a bit more like that than the mids and the forwards. So that he's got that sort of brotherhood, mateship thing about him that sort of suggests he might be decent down back as well, and he's a really good intercept marker. So, there's some things to like. We'll just see. Got to experiment. You don't get better if you don't try new things.
You've got a lot of options down that part of the ground, haven't you? You've brought in Connor McKenna, obviously, who's come from during the off-season. Darcy Wilmot. There's a whole heap of guys that have sort of in and around that mark. You're going to have a difficult selection conundrum on you.
We have. It's difficult at the moment. And, Darcy Gardner and Noah Answorth and Jack Payne haven't played yet for various reasons. So, it's challenging, but that's what we worked hard towards, is to have competition for positions, and we feel like that we got that over a fair bit of the field now, so that usually pushes the standard up as well.
Do you see this, premiership tilt lasting for a lot longer? Do you think there's a lot of legs left, or are you sort of really narrowing in on the next couple of years?
I haven't really felt like, maybe last year I did feel like we're probably starting to be in that window, but the 3 years previous to that, even though we're playing finals, I just thought that was all part of our apprenticeship, our journey towards it, and I think now we're right in our window. I don't know how long it will last for, but we're not a particularly old group. We've got a lot of players that are sort of 23 to 28 who are about to play in the best years of their careers, hopefully. So you'd like to think that we're somewhere in it for the next 5 years. You know, I don't know. It's hard to predict these things, but we're certainly in it, and I feel like we're coming into this season, and you always need a little bit of luck with injury and stuff like that. But in terms of our list and our experiences that we've had, we're sort of primed to have a real decent crack at it.